Those of you who were here at our Vision Sunday night in January heard me say this, and I'll end with this. Like, I loved going to my grandma's house when I was little. Like, every Sunday morning that we were there, it started the same way. I would wake up to the smell of Grandma cooking. I mean, she would have already baked her made from scratch sweet rolls that we were going to eat for breakfast. But that's not all. She had started early, and she had begun to make the Sunday lunch that we would come back from church to eat. And my grandma, I don't know about your grandma, but my grandma would cook a feast. Like, there might be 8 of us or 7 of us or however many, but she would cook for an army. And so a typical Sunday lunch was like a roast. You know, a roast with all the stuff. And I mean, it was amazing and it was incredible. And then, like, she was the queen of casseroles. My wife was in awe when she first came into the family. Like she had dozens of recipes of casserole. And we'd always have, in addition to like the main dish, we'd have like 3 different casseroles. We might have a Chinese casserole, and we would have the tomato and breadcrumb, whatever, noodle casserole, and we'd have 3 different casseroles, and then on top of those casseroles, she would do the green bean casserole, and then she would have mashed potatoes. And I'm not talking about like from a box, I'm talking about like from potatoes with real cream and real butter. And she used more than 1.5 pats of butter, I promise you that. Like, she probably used 1 pound of butter, and so we'd have this mashed potatoes. And then she would make yams, which I wasn't big on that, but that's okay because there was a feast. Like, you pick and choose, and then there would be cream corn, and there'd be buttered squash, and there'd be a 7-layer salad. And then she also, like, she was big on Jell-O salads, and not just one Jell-O salad, but like we'd have 4 Jell-O salads, which I never understood why they're called Jell-O salads. There's different types of Jell-O, but she would have the layered ribbon Jell-O. She would have the 5-cup Jell-O. She would have the orange Jell-O with like the baby tangerines in it. She would have a black cherry Jell-O. I mean, she'd have all this. And then she would have various types of breads and rolls, and she would have a relish tray and a vegetable tray and so many other things that I've probably forgotten that she had. I mean, she would have a spread, and like it wouldn't even fit on the huge table she had. We had to rotate things in from the kitchen. And you would eat until you were just to the point where you wanted to explode. She would start gathering up everybody's plate. And as she would grab my plate, she would say something like this: "John, you want to hang on to your fork?" Like, I loved when Grandma said that. Because what that meant is, no matter how much we had just consumed, despite what we had just had on the table, she had a surprise that was sweeter than anything we had just eaten. I loved it when she said, "Hold on to your fork, because I have got something better for you coming out of the kitchen," is what she was saying. I have something greater that you have not yet experienced. And the best is yet to come. Listen, I believe if God had a message for this church, it would be to hold on to your fork. I believe if God had a message for you and your family, it would be to hold on to your fork. The reason you are still here on this planet is because He's not finished with you yet. And if you will walk with me, and if you will listen to me, and if you will believe in me, God is saying, you hold on to your fork because the best days are yet to come. You haven't seen what I can do yet. I still believe that God can heal people. I still believe God can restore broken marriages. I still believe God can bring wayward children home. I still believe God can cure sickness. I still believe God is greater than your addiction that you're facing. I still believe God can raise the dead. I believe God is that big. And I believe the day that the church quits putting Him in a box and we say, "God, I will go where you want me to go. I will listen to anything you tell me, and I will believe it if you call me to do it." That is when we really begin to make a difference and we become truly effective.